Hey everybody, it is No Music Monday, and you're listening to DDOcast episode 273, recorded live on March 11th, 2013. I'm your host, Siegfried Trent. With me, I have lovely producer and wife, Anne Trent. Hello, darling.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Monday, yes I know, we're broadcasting on the wrong day.
Mondays rock. But you know who does rock? That would be Jeff Hanna from DDOgamer.com, who is also with us.
Rockin'. I'm rockin'. Hi, DDO World.
Cool. If you want to catch a live show, they're usually broadcast on Sunday around 4 p.m. Pacific time. Maybe not today. But you can listen live and hang out in our chat room through G+ Hangouts or from the website at DDOcast.com/live. And if you want to find out when we're going to do the show, because it does sometimes change, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, G+, or on the website, DDOcast.com. If you want to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can do that by calling 707-DDOcast or emailing us at ddocast@gmail.com. Always looking for guest segments, news, opinions, topics of interest, and you can even be on the show if you like. On the podcast this week, well, I didn't prepare all that, but we got a lot of stuff. We've got news, community news. We're going to talk about Lamania patch notes. That'll probably be the bulk of the show because there's some interesting tidbits in there. But Jeff Hanna also has some cool stuff on DDO Gamer that we will mention, and we'll do the Chronicle, and I think that'll be about it for today.
Jeff saves us again.
Always. Providing content to a content-starved world. All right. Let's start with the game news. Get the particulars out of the way. Time credits for VIPs have been completed, according to... this wasn't Cordovan, but yeah. According to the support team, as of 11:59 Sunday, March 10th, all players who qualified for the extended VIP time due to the billing system downtime have been granted 4 additional days. The extended time was awarded between Friday and Sunday. Thanks for your patience, and we'll see you in game. So kind of cool. I don't think they've ever done that before, maybe, but not that I recall.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Of course, they were never down for 3 days in a row before either.
No. They've been down for almost 24 hours before, and they didn't comp people time, so I think that's good. And, people are always like, I want my hour back. But, yeah. Let's see. Forgotten Realms avatars, something that Jerry was saying that he would might be looking into, and indeed they delivered. They put up 32 new avatars for the forums based on the Forgotten Realms characters and scenes. So enjoy. You can find them by hitting the user CP in the forums. Click Edit Avatar using the drop-down menu. Go to the Forgotten Realms, and then you can pick which one you like.
So I've been the lazy girl, and I haven't seen it. So Jeff, have you seen it?
Yeah, I looked. Some of them are nice. I can't change my avatar. It's my avatar. It's who I am. I'm that starry field. That's who I am.
So do you have a favorite of the Forgotten Realms one? Even though we know you're not going to choose one.
Actually, yeah, they had Water Druid form and Fire Druid form, and those both looked, I thought, hey, they were rocking. I liked those. Since that's the theme tonight, those two rock.
Did they have Gandalf on there?
No.
Darn.
Or even a cheap imitation.
No, they didn't even have him.
They might have had a cheap imitation. Now I don't recall.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check them out. I'm Coil at the moment because I'm a big Coil fan. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Although I change mine from time to time, I don't really stick with just one. I probably should, but oh well. What else we got? Outfits still in the mail, still going out in batches. I got mine on the 7th, and I got some more on a different character yesterday. So I'm not sure if they've all gone out, but as of 2 days ago when I made this part of the batch, the notes, they hadn't all been out there yet. And something to keep in mind is they are having a little bit of an impact on certain parts of the game. So, for instance, there have been some delays in the auction house. According to Cordovan, we've been looking into this, and the delay auction expiration is a byproduct of our efforts to return outfits to players. It takes a bit of time, and your auctions will expire, and your winnings will be mailed. Essentially what's happening is that the mail system is getting into a queued state, and then the outfit returns are being done in chunks of 1,000 at a time. So outfits run, then the outfit system stops for a little while, the auction house and other mail stuff is sent through, then it returns to begin again, so on and so forth. So basically the auction house mailings are delaying occasionally in order to mail out thousands of outfits to people. So that's what's going on with that.
Thousands.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of outfits. I got mailed to get
hundreds
20,
of
30.
thousands, tens of thousands, or single, 1K thousand kind of a thing.
I don't know. I'm sure it's a
Oh,
lot.
It must be extreme. It must be extreme because it's. I mean, it's taking days.
Yeah.
Days
Yeah.
and days.
Yeah. There's a lot of outfits in I mean, a lot of people hoard a lot of junk in their inventory. Did you hear about that, Jeff?
Well, I don't think I lost any outfits though.
Yeah.
Or at least I certainly haven't gotten any in the mail. So.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when
No,
I read
had a
this, I
few.
didn't log any of my outfit characters on.
You know, the sad thing is most of the outfits that I lost, I really could care less about, to be honest. So get them back. Like, oh yeah, that random junk I had. Probably should have just sold that off at some point anyway. But yeah. Let's see. No Kruz, no reincarnation. Sad face. Cordovan says Kruz has been temporarily disabled on Thalanis, Kyber, and Orion, while the outfit return script is running to help prevent possible issues with reincarnation. While the outfit's returns are running, Kruz will be disabled, so you can expect Kruz to be available off and on throughout the day. Thanks. So he's kind of he's got a blink spell cast on him, I guess, so that you don't get hosed while reincarnating, which I think is very thoughtful of the devs to have caught that potential problem and nipped it in the bud. So kudos to them for that. We got bonus days going on, plus 15% guild renown through March 10th.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
I know, yesterday.
So unless you're playing faster than light, please disregard that previous comment.
That's right. We would have been only if you were listening live. Yeah, our show is timed really badly for bonus days and DDO store news, generally speaking. But oh well. Speaking of which, DDO store news. DDO Market now has the DDO starter pack. It costs $10, $9.99 to be specific. $10, I say. Catacombs is included in that. I can't say that's my favorite quest ever, but sure. You get the Scorpion Cosmetic Pet, which is pretty cool. This is not the jeweled one, but the kind of like the deadly Scorpion one, red and black one. Permanent Cleric Hireling that is level 3. So, you know, help you through your early levels, and then you can bring them out to watch them die and laugh. Or something else. I don't know. It's a halfling, so it's cute, if nothing else. It could be your porter. You can imagine. So you can send him into traps, go down that hall and pull the lever. He fell for it again. Hours of entertainment.
Yeah.
5 excellent XP elixirs. That's pretty nice. And 250 turbine points. So I think you get a pretty decent deal of amusement for $10, especially if you're a premium or new player. Yeah, Catacombs has some okay treasure. The end rewards are kind of good, some of them. But I find some of the quests to be just kind of grindy. Too many skeletons.
I call it the Roman Encircle dungeon set, because all you do is kind of roam in a circle. Well, except for the last one, you roam in a spiral.
Hey,
yeah, the one I like.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the one I like the least is you like go in a circle and then you go in the circle the other way and then you go into the middle, and it just takes a long time and you don't get to see much except more coffins and more skeletons over and over.
But you can reliably cause a state to happen in that quest where you are surrounded by so many undead that you can go crowd surfing. You jump up and you're stuck on top of them and you just wail away. It's fun.
True.
All right, so you know,
I've gotten killed that way before, but yeah. And I remember, before Dungeon Alert, you just be like, all right, we're just gonna run through this quest. We're gonna gather everything up and firewall it, right? And so
can't do it anymore.
That is if you have firewall at that level, which you usually don't. No. Oh, you know what I did do though is I don't remember if you gave me this tip, Jeff, but I took those the sun potions and put them on my druid in wolf form. Those are devastating. Like at that level, at lower levels, because it's like 50 to 70 points a day at light damage per hit on undead, and in wolf form you attack really fast. So wow, it's just a great little tip if you happen to be playing a druid and you're gonna do Delira's Tomb or something. You will own that quest.
Good times.
Right. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Sometimes it's fun to be broken. Let's see. Free lesser crafting elixir. Code is LCEE01. So if you're crafting, that's a nice thing to have. Save you a few more recipes. I've almost gotten to where I can do level 100 things. I'm like at 89 on one of my crafting things.
By the way, it was Shamgar that told us that trick.
Oh, was it Shamgar? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great trick. I mean, it's really fun. And then it don't use up, and you get your teeth glow, like you get a little glowy effect from what would normally be the potion that you have in your hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see, 20% off of all Hearts of Wood, Quest XP elixirs, healing, and spell point potions.
So
that's
Hearts
the
of
ones
Wood
there.
are on sale, but Kruz is on sporadic vacations.
That's right. Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Love the timing on that one.
Yeah. I mean, I get the feeling that the store guys and the dev guys, they work together, but not, in lockstep. They're slightly independent teams, I think.
Well, and you can stack these up for use later anyway, right? You don't have to use it the day you buy it.
Yeah. Well, and here's a cool thing. The devs have listened to the complaints about when they were streamlining the things in the auction, they removed the larger potion bundles. So they've come up with kind of a way to simulate those. They've got 3 codes. They go like this: XPE020, XPE030, and XPE040. You enter those when you're buying experience points potions in large lots. So if you spend 1,000 turbine points on XP potions, you can save 20% with the first code. If you're spending 2,000, you can save 30%, and if you're spending 3,000 points on experience point potions, Lord help you, you'll save 40%. But you'll want to know those codes. Saving 40% is pretty good. So buy in bulk, and you can be happy. I just grind it out.
I guess I read a detailed response from one of the devs. I forget who. Quartermaster C, probably. And this now replaces all of the old stacks that it used to be that you could buy at a discount, except one. It's like, if you were buying the major elixir in groups of 25, you can't quite get there with these coupons. But they laid out the math, and it was like 0.7% of people have ever done that. It was a really,
Well, they did their homework at least, right?
Yeah.
They did research.
That's funny.
Right.
I'm just glad they were listening to people and they responded to that. I think that's cool.
Cool.
All right. So let's roll into the meat of today's episode, which is feature update. Update 17 patch 1 notes, and this is on Lamani right now. So remember, this stuff is not necessarily final. Some of it may make it out in patch 1. Some of it may not, but this is what they got out there right now. And some interesting stuff. We'll kind of talk about it as we go. First up, and perhaps the most interesting, is something called the Shard Exchange. So this is a new auction house that functions similarly to the original auction house, but it offers a convenient place to trade equipment for astral shards, a currency that provides additional in-game services. You'll pardon me if I use my announcer voice reading these press announcements. The Shard Exchange is available by visiting the auction house NPC or by selecting the Shard Exchange in the start menu, the dragon coin in the lower left of the screen. The Shard Exchange is available to premium and VIP players only. The Shard Exchange utilizes astral shards both as a bid and reward currency. Unbound and bound to character unequipped items can be traded. Equipped bound on equipped items can be sold even after they are bound, but become immediately bound to the buyer. Posting fees for unbound items is 1 shard, and posting fees for bound on equipped items is 5 shards. The fees are refunded if the auction expires without being bought. Premium players can currently post up to 10 items, and VIP players can post up to 20 items. The default bid for unbound items is 3 shards, and the default bid for bound items is 15. The exchange will take a 30% cut off the top of the posting fee when unbound items are successfully sold, and 40% of the posting fee for bound items. Lamania only. We go on to talk about a little bug that's on Lamania. So that doesn't matter too much to most people. Okay, so that is the Shard Exchange. Basically, you can take your stuff, as far as we know, raid loot, other bound character items, put them on there and sell them to other people for astral shards. Turbine will deduct some of the astral shards before passing them on to the seller, and you become the new proud owner of a thing bound to you instead of bound to somebody else. So that's the gig. And the basic upshot is you need to buy shards, although you can get shards other ways, in order to buy things that normally you could never buy. And so this is one of those, is this pay to win? Is it violating the general nature of games? I don't know. All those kinds of questions. Does it also, like one of my guildies brought up upon hearing this, he said, yeah, so basically no one will ever roll chest loot again out of a raid because they can put it on the auction house and sell it if they don't need it. And thus buy other stuff. So, I don't know. Lots of things to think about with this. Jeff, you got some opening
Well,
salvo of thoughts?
the first thing I have is a question, because you're assuming raid loot, but this announcement is very specific about bind to character on equip, whereas raid loot is not. Raid loot is bind to character.
On acquire.
Right, so that's correct. So bind to character on equip is the new thing that all of the named loot is starting to pick up.
Okay.
Right? So I guess so. Yeah, I can see how those two things would fit together. But I wonder, are you really going to be able to go buy a Dream Spitter, or are you going to have to go get one yourself? I suspect the latter.
Yeah, it could be. Now, I haven't been on there and tested it out yet. We were on vacation over the weekend and stuff, so and this went up while we were out there. We were doing the show notes on the road, as it were. And yeah, so I don't know a lot of the details, and I haven't read all the forum threads about it. So yeah, there's some variability here. As my guildie said, even if they are trying to avoid raid items, does Turbine have a good track record on being able to discriminate such things? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. He's an eternal pessimist, perhaps, but he's often not wrong about these things. So,
well, it says following equipped bound to equipped items can be sold even after they are bound.
Right. So you've equipped it and it's bound to you. You can still trade it. So yeah, and a lot of these are like the chest loot that sometimes is similar to the end raid loot, but is a little different. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what'll be included, but I mean, it's definitely stuff that you could never sell or trade before. You'll now be able to do that.
Right. Well, can we make the safe assumption that all raid items are bound to character on acquire?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, we know that for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So. It'll be interesting because this doesn't introduce shards to the economy. This just allows us to move them around. So where are the shards going to come from? So,
well, you got to buy them.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got to buy the shards. You have to buy the shards. You can probably get free shards based upon what kind of account you get. And
once.
Right.
Yeah.
And probably they'll probably do offers, right? Like when you go to a convention and they give you a coupon, you can get shards for that.
Yeah.
But most of where the shards will be coming from is from the DDO store. So the best possible price that you can get is 140 astral shards for 795 turbine points, which roughly works out to 5.68 turbine points per shard.
How many? What was that, approximately?
5.68 turbine points per shard.
Never tell me the odds. Oh, sorry. Wrong movie.
Yeah, well, you can get astral shards by crunching down astral diamonds. You can occasionally, or you could, find astral diamonds in chests once upon a time. I believe there's also a recipe where you can grind down tomes into astral diamonds, which you can then turn into astral shards. So I think there's some ways to get astral shards without buying them, but I think they're pretty, low volume.
Methods. I would have to say that based on this and some of the other things that we're going to talk about from the Lamania notes as being shard sinks.
Yeah.
Back when we first went free to play, we were promised that everything that was in the DDO store would also drop in chests. Now, I know they've gotten away from that, okay? So, and I haven't heard that promise from anybody in probably 2 years, but I think that this is there needs to be a way to earn them in game above and beyond what you can get with the monster manual, because you can get a handful by crunching down 6,000 hobgoblins or something, but it's not.
Yay, rewarding grinders.
Yeah, it's not a realistically repeatable kind of way to run an economy. There's got to be other ways too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty clear. It's a way for them to make money. They want you to buy shards so that you can get goodies from other people. And then those people, it gives, in a sense, there's an economy. If you want to be an item farmer, then you can get shards for your farming, right? But somebody's got to be the fat cat or the whale or whatever who just, is like, screw that, I'll just buy these things and buy stuff off of other people. So, and most, I think a lot of games, this is not the first game that's done this kind of a system. These exist in a number of free-to-play games now. And they generally kind of work that way, as to, find the people who have more time than money and trade with the people who have more time than money than time, and use the the gamers who grind for the gear as the sink that pulls the cash out of other people's pockets. Personally, I don't care. You know, if people want to buy stuff, doesn't bother me. I probably won't be buying gear from people myself. Now, if I have extra astral shards kicking around from whatever, I might buy something off of there, I guess. I don't have any principled against it, but I don't know. Loot doesn't drive me in the game like experience points do. If I could buy experience points with shards, then yeah, I might be buying some shards. But you know, I like leveling characters more than equipping my characters. So, but I know a lot of people that's not the case. You know, gear is what they really like. So
people love the bling.
Yeah. Now I think it would be better. You know, it'd be good if the raid loot isn't part of the system, and that may well be the case. You know, because you brought up a good point in reading these. I didn't read it that carefully. So I'm kind of hoping that's not the case. Happy to have more stuff be tradable. I kind of hate stuff that's bound to character, really.
Yeah.
Bound to account doesn't bother me. Bound to character I don't like. So this kind of gets around it. I guess, you know, they have the sync on there. Some people complained about the cut that gets taken. But, you know, otherwise what would happen is either A, enough shards would get into the economy that nobody needs to buy anymore. You're just swapping them back and forth. Or B, you can just use this to, you know, move stuff from one character to another that's bound to character. You know, like, I'm going to sell that and I will be buying it as well. E for me, right? So they kind of have to have the syncs on there or they don't make any money. So
I guess that is an advantage, because if you sell a bound to character item on one character and you want another character to have it, you post it onto this auction house, and that's how you trade it.
Oh, it's a stupid tax. For example,
pretty much.
It is, because both my gamer girl and I spent, you know, the week grinding for, you know, flasks of buttery rum heels clickies, right?
Yeah.
And she accidentally, and me on purpose because I'm stupid and didn't think it through, put them on the wrong characters. So we can pay a little stupid tax and get them on the right character.
40% stupid tax, and you can get your thing that you built on the wrong character onto the right character.
I guess you just got to watch out for people sniping the auctions. Right?
Oh, no.
There's a good deal. I'll buy that.
I'll buy that one.
By the time you log in your other character, it's gone. So you have to be willing to pony up, you know, not just the minimum number of shards, but something that'll at least keep people away from it for the 10 minutes it takes to change characters.
Or do it at 4 a.m. Tuesday.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So there's something you can do with this, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I hadn't thought about it until we talked about it. Yeah. I mean, we should find somebody who really doesn't like it.
We really should.
Because I know there's some people that just gonna hate this.
Why would people hate it? Because it kind of mimics the black market.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, just because of the pay-to-win factor. I mean, things that normally are exclusive, somebody can come and buy.
Right. You mean you're reducing the value of the item because it's no longer rare, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think there's two aspects that people complain about. One, there's just sort of a personal feeling that I worked hard to earn this and other people didn't have to. So there's a feeling of unfairness that comes with it. And then the other is people complain, you know, the people that say, well, you know, why should you really care what kind of experience anybody else has? Then the response tends to be, well, what happens is people get geared up and they get leveled up and then they're not really very good at the game, actually. And so they cause my groups to fail and annoy me. And I would rather they have to earn those, you know, that lofty position rather than be able to get there so they can stop bothering me. To which, you know, I don't think there's anything that stops anybody who's maybe not good at the game from getting to high level and having gear anyway, right? You can always have your friend help you. I mean, there's myriad ways that happens that doesn't involve cash out of your pocket. But I don't know. Those are the two complaints I hear most often.
I think the thing that scares me about this is not, if we're right, and it is only bind a character on equip, I mean, that stuff is already tradable. You know, it's
that's
just
true.
If you didn't put it on, it's already on the auction house. You know,
that's a
and
good point.
the trade channel is flooded with, I want your $50 box for my Epic Elite goggles that I found. You know, so you can already acquire that stuff without having to go get it. So that doesn't bother me. Now, if it's raid loot, that's a different issue, and we'd have to have that conversation. The only thing about this that scares me a little bit is that because shards are essentially an avatar for real money.
Yeah.
there's always going to be problems because there always are. This is a buggy game. It just is. And there's going to be bugs with this. And it's going to be people's real money. And I think, it's going to cause – it has the potential to cause angst at a level that we haven't encountered before and, turn people off in a bad way.
It would be nice if you can keep track of the transactions since this is basically a translation of real-world money.
Yeah. Of course, as Anne was pointing out to me, there are some tax implications on things like these. Like in China, they're trying to tax these kinds of transactions, and some companies use them to hide, real money transactions and try to escape government taxation. I know Turbine's not trying to do that, but there is a question like, can they consider the destruction of virtual money a profit? I mean, how do you account for that? Obviously, when somebody buys the shards in the first place, that would be, income for Turbine, and you could just leave it at that. But then, there's a question of, if you're degrading the currency within the game, what does that do? And are players responsible for profits they make on the shards? And probably not in that case, but
not in the case of DDO, because unlike some MMOs, you can't trade it into real world back into real world dollars like you can do in Second Life. You have to report income from that because you can take Linden dollars and put them into real American USD dollars.
Right. Yeah. So until my dry cleaner is taking astral shards, I don't think this is a big deal. But
well, and that's the reason you cannot trade astral shards. You can't give them to other players in any way, shape, or form. So,
right.
Yeah, that prevents the farmers from using this as a new kind of currency to exchange.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how this one plays out. Really,
yeah,
it certainly
absolutely.
is. It's opening up some scary areas. That's for sure.
Yeah, but, I mean, I don't know, because there is a black market for the kind of stuff that this would replace. So, like, for example, right now you can buy leveling services on black markets. Basically, there's this group of people who would basically take you through a dungeon and give you either experience points or the item that you're looking for specifically for that character.
Okay.
So, and basically, these services run roughly anywhere from $200 to $300 a pop.
Wow.
Until you get your item or the XP that you want.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, they're kind of curious. Of course, Turbine does not take a happy view of that sort of activity, right? So if they catch you doing that, they're not
it's bad.
They're not going to be nice to you.
They're complete. That is a complete violation of the end user license agreement.
Yeah. And and of course, there's the practical warnings that if especially if you're having someone else level your character, you've given them the keys to your kingdom, as it were. They can always come take it later.
Right. Oh no, they guide you, quote unquote. You're on your character. They guide you through.
Oh, well, there's services where you can just pay other people to play your character too.
Oh,
I've seen those too. Yeah, we'll level your character up and give it back to you. So, I'm sure they like those a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you see a lot of that in DDO. Or like, when it first started, there was a lot more farmers and stuff. I haven't seen a lot of them lately, but that or they're just better at hiding. Yeah. They may just be better at staying on the down low. I don't know.
So, I don't know. To sum up my feelings about the auction house, I got to give Turbine the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I feel like they've done a really good job of implementing the free-to-play. There's no doubt that as a general statement, free-to-play has been amazingly good for the game. It probably saved the game.
Yeah, I think so.
And I feel that when they have to walk these balance questions, they do a pretty good job of it. And I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to do the same here too. I'm not going to panic until I see it and have to. And I don't see anything here that makes me panic yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing about it that's going to impact my gameplay, and that's what I care about the most usually. So, if it doesn't impact my gameplay, I don't really care. But we're interested in other people's views, though. So this is definitely one we'd like to get some emails if you got an opinion.
Oh yeah, if you have an opinion about this, whether it be good or bad, we really want to hear it because we may not be able to see things that you may see in what may arise from this new kind of system. And to be honest, I haven't even tried it yet. So I have to update my Lamania climate and see what happens.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess our only rule is like the Turbine forum. If you're calling people idiots and that sort of thing, well, we won't do that. But we'll just edit that part out and we'll put the rest of it in there. So we won't censor your entire statement, but we won't insult in specific individuals or groups in it in that sort of way. But other than that, hey, let the opinions fly. Okay. Let's see. Our next item on the list here, we've got daily dice. So this is described as follows. Earn daily rewards from the Dungeon Master just for logging in. When you log into the game each day, you'll get a notification that a daily reward is available. The daily dice system can be accessed from the start menu or by clicking an icon that displays your in your health bar when a free roll is available. Each player gets a free roll on the silver chest loot table once per day. You can spend astral shards for additional rolls if desired. Players can also choose to use their free silver chest roll to reduce the cost of a roll on the gold chest table. Players can spend astral shards to roll on the gold chest table anytime their wallets desire.
Oh, please do. Please do.
All right. This reeks of gambling.
Yeah, it does, actually. Yes.
I'm just saying. I'm just going to lay it out on the table. Feels like gambling. You're taking a chance.
You know what it reminds me of is Mafia Wars and various Facebook games.
Oh,
yeah, this is an old one. I mean, I've seen this in a lot of free-to-play MMOs I've tried. They usually call them gift boxes, right? And you buy them out of the store and you open it and it's random stuff. Usually there's like 2 things you'll be guaranteed to get with your gift box that are kind of meaningless, and then some potions or something, and then a chance at some random prize. It smacks of gambling to me too, to be honest. So. I don't know. Again, go ahead.
I logged into Lamania just to check it out. You're not going to believe what I got.
What'd you get?
Blades of the Dark Six.
Take them back.
That is why the costs are so expensive. Okay, that explains everything.
Wow. Well, if they ever want to sell any of those, they should take out that out of the treasure table, because I think the moment I spend some astral shards and get some Blades of the Dark Six is the moment I never click that button again.
I know, exactly.
Well, it was my free roll, at least. Thank God.
Well, that's true. I guess it's free. You might take it, but wow, that's pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that. I mean, of all the collectibles, that one is one of the most ubiquitous.
Yeah, well, and it was like they have the percentages of they have the loot tables right there. Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, and it's like 15 to 26 is a collectible or astral shards. Mm-hmm. Well, in my case, it was a collectible. And guess which one?
Minion Guramesh on the chat channel says, "But hey, you can now use those to buy lower level augments crystals now."
Yeah, that's true. You can get something out of it, I guess.
Well, sort of.
I guess.
We'll be talking about that pretty soon, actually. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The new collectibles issues. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this is another one. I don't really care that it's in there, and I'll probably click on it, right? I mean,
I do the lotteries. Do you do the My DDO lotteries?
I actually rarely did them because I was too lazy to open up the page for it. So
they didn't make it easy.
No, they didn't. Well, I used to do them, but eventually they add up on your page, and it makes your page take forever to load. So I stopped. Yeah. But I used to do it. You get crafting materials, or every now and then you'd get an elixir, XP boost or something. It was cool. There's nothing, no bad.
Yeah, and I believe this is essentially a replacement of that, or it's kind of a new version of it in a way.
Yeah, it would be nice if it was like a little bit more obvious about what you could win.
All right, it is definitely a replacement. If you go into Lamania, you look on the UI, the My DDO button is gone.
Yeah.
And it is now the daily thingy.
Yeah, yeah. So I think basically this is the non-beta version of that in a sense. Yep. All right. What else we got? VIP XP bonus. This is pretty cool. VIP players will now get an extra plus 10% XP bonus stacks with other sources of experience point bonuses. Woot! Can't complain about that. Yep. Of course, we heard about that with the State of the Game address, but
right.
So, rock and roll. I'm all about that. Happy. Can't come soon enough. Let's see, Auction House. The Auction House has been given a math lesson. Will no longer tell you that your bid amount was too small when you were bidding what it told you to do. I've run into that. I never really, I guess not enough that I knew it was a bug, but I've had it happen.
So the Auction House feature function went to remedial arithmetic school?
I guess so. Yeah, they like to add those little bits of color in there, which I like. Except when they obscure what the hell they're talking about. In this case, that's not true, so that's fine. Crafting fixed an issue that prevented crafting shards with the aligned effect on them from being applied as prefixes. Newly made shards with the bashing effect will now display their names properly as shard of bashing instead of just shard. I had a bunch of those shard. I'm like, what is this? Oh, well, I'm just grinding them all up anyway, so who cares? Soul gem bags are now available to purchase from vendors in crafting halls. It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless they don't fit in my ingredients bag anymore, that'd be annoying.
Soul gems never went in your ingredients
Oh,
bag.
that's right. Those guys, right? Yeah. Right. Where the heck did you get those? Because I have a couple soul gem bags. I don't remember where I got them from though.
You make them with what's the spell? I forget. There's a spell that turns enemies into.
Oh, trap the soul makes the soul gems. Yeah, but the bags that you put them in. I have some soul gem bags. I don't remember where I got them though.
Where do you?
Right. I have a small one. I think you can buy those.
Yeah, maybe in the 12.
Probably
like
the 12. That makes the most sense. Those crazy wizards trapping soul gems need special bags to put them in.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun spell, but it's a little. You have to go on the DDO wiki to go figure out what it is you need to go be zapping, and then you gotta go run Taming the Flames on your level 20 character to find the right kind of monsters to put in there and stuff. So, I did an adamantine ritual once. So.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the only thing I've ever used that for is to go get some earth elementals for adamantium ritual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you got to get the right level ones and stuff, which is also a little obnoxious. Yeah. But oh well. Creature companions fixed an issue that would cause the bat to temporarily disappear when a hat is applied to it. Now, this is not deeply game impacting, but to me, it's funny. Like, hey, where did my bat go? Well, the hat appears to be deployed.
Maybe the hat's too big and it just covers the bat. Now
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, he just goes to the ground. Where'd the bat go? I don't understand.
There's just an empty hat at your feet.
So, yeah. Good news for hatted bat owners everywhere, I guess. I love these. Let's see. Items larger than intended piles of gems will no longer drop in every chest.
Oh, boo!
Oh, I love the gems.
We love gems. Boo.
Bring it back next birthday. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. No, it's a feature. And this week we'll have +1 gem loot.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It was kind of fun.
I like it.
Pardon me. Otto's irresistible boxes can no longer be destroyed during combat.
Oh, I feel sorry.
That would go to suck. I assume you can repair them, but I don't know. So I just spent $50 on my Otto's irresistible box. Hobgoblin destroys your Otto's irresistible. You're trying to get to level 8. Just not good.
My gamer girl lost 4 Sybaris cakes this weekend, and she was pissed. I was like, God.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, actually, she reported it, and they gave them back to her.
Oh, yeah, nice. That's nice. Yeah. I think generally they don't intend for things that you buy to be destroyed. That's not fun.
That's not.
They should change the hardness of them into like something as like adamantine cakes.
Yeah.
So they can never be destroyed like that ever again.
Well, wasn't there a year they were made out of flesh?
Yeah. They're the hardness of flesh.
It's people. Soylent Green is people.
And you never know on DDO. Let's see. NPCs. Many collectible. Okay, this is what we're going to talk about. Many collectible NPCs in the harbor, marketplace, and house wards now use the barter shop interface and have augments available to exchange for collectibles or for astral shards. Augment crystal vendors have titles have been improved to more clearly specify what kind of augments they sell. Collector chalices have their colors changed to help differentiate them from quest NPCs. And hireling vendors that sold rogue hireling contracts for astral shards will now do so again. So, but the main thing here is that all those strange Blades of the Dark 6 and other odd bits and pieces that you get from shinies, but are really no longer in the upper part of the game, can be traded in for shards. Instead of what they were trading in for before, if I understand correctly. Does that sound about right, Jeff?
Well, it's like
what you've read?
Yeah. They came out with, basically it's an all-new system. So you go talk to the collectible collector, and instead of her offering you menus, you get the barter box. And it was clean and interesting, and it gave you a chance to actually earn augments instead of, whatever they used to have, +1 arrows of lesser undead bane or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And when they first brought it out, everybody seemed to it seemed to be universally well loved and received. And then they made a second pass, and they took the prices and they just blew them up. It's like universally they applied 10 times top to bottom. So something that used to cost 3 now costs 30. So you end up in a situation where, for example, Wash Panoptis, who used to sell you scrolls and eventually a robe, now if you give him 30 amber vials, he'll give you a potion of jump.
No.
Yeah. Or if you give him 30 amber vials and 10 vials of pure water, which, by the way, work in alchemical rituals, and 5 vials of contagion, which is the rare drop, you'll have a chance at a random minimum level 1 augment.
Ooh. Yeah.
Or you can pay 4 astral shards and get your choice of a minimum level 1 augment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, hopefully, they're just playing with the prices and trying to see how people react, and they've realized that the reaction to trading in mountains of rare droppy things for relatively low-level random loot is not going to excite many people's fires.
Well, it did excite them, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
So there's what is this? How many pages on this thread now? 6 pages, 12 pages. Anyway, large number of pages on the Lamania forums about this, and it's just unusual to find a topic that is so universally unpopular. I mean, really, usually if you go 30 posts into one of these, somebody's going to jump in and say, well, I have a bunch of collectibles and I think it's a great idea. Or maybe they're going to say, well, I like turban, or I like pizza, I like something. No, it's just none of that in here. It's post after post of, oh my God, 10? Oh my God, 30? Or, you want me to trade in lightning split Sorwoods for what? Those are the polite responses. It goes downhill from there, and in some cases, way downhill.
Wow.
A very unpopular change. So, on the other hand, the original set was universally loved. Somewhere in there is the average of hopefully where they'll figure out how to settle, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you know what they should have done? They should have started out with the big heavy numbers first, and then reduced it, and then everybody would have been still happy with it.
That would be a better psychological ploy, definitely.
Well, and that's actually one of the theories that's pointed out in this thread. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a little late for that in a way. But yeah, well, yeah.
They're going to come out with version 3 where everything is still really expensive and we're all going to love it because it's so much less than it was. Oh, yeah.
Could be. I mean, they may go for something medium, or they may roll that out despite the boos and hisses. We'll see. I'm sure they have some kind of data they use to try and figure those things out. Like they change it, and then they measure the response and see what happens. I know they've done that a little bit with some other things on Lamania. They played around with the costs for stuff while it's been on there just to see how people respond to it. So we'll see. But yeah, no devs posting in that thread so far, so we don't know. I'm sure they've seen it. There's no, I mean...
Wow, 30,
they read the forum, so
30 lily petals for a cure moderate wounds. A single
right,
cure moderate wounds.
Right, and it used to be 3, and you'd get a cure serious, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just silly. I mean, it's not worth your time, right? Because cure moderate wounds potions don't cost very much in the first place in gold, so it takes me 1 chest loot to buy 10 of them, or I could spend all day collecting 30 to get 1. That's not a hard decision to make, right? So I think that's just kind of dumb.
Well, wait a minute, though, because you could, if you want, turn in 30 Singed Sorwoods, 10 Charred, and 5 Lightning Split for a random minimum level 8 Ruby Augment.
Random.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're getting. Are they bound to character, or can you trade them?
I don't know. I haven't seen augments be bound, are they? Except for the named ones, like the Imperial Globe. I think most of them are tradable.
Yeah, no, they're generally tradable. So
okay.
And that's the thing is, I think people are going to, I think only the high-level augments are really going to have a lot of value to people. The lower-level ones, they're nice for, just like any item. It's, level 8, nice level 8 item. Sure, it goes for a little bit of money on the auction house, but not a ton. Just sort of convenience cash. And the shards, I think, pretty much the same. I saw a lot of low and mid-level shards for sale, pretty cheap. Level 20 and 25 augments, not so much. They can command pretty good prices. So I'm not sure anyone's willing to cough up a lot of effort to get a level 8 shard of any kind. Unless, I don't know, maybe if it's like heavy fort or something, but
Well, it is a good way to turn your shards into augments, I guess, if that's something you really need to do. I do think, though, there's one thing they've taken away from the game, and that is that the collectible system used to really be a boost, I think, for the brand new player.
Yeah.
So, when I've started out fresh on new servers, I am a new player, right, essentially. And in that case, you used to be able to get 3 easy-to-get mushrooms, and you've got a potion of Cure Light Wounds. And you need those when you're trying to struggle through those first levels. You haven't earned veteran status on that server yet, so you're probably starting, at first level, trying to work your way up, and getting a stack of Cure Lights is a big deal. It's the difference between, making plat on a quest and losing plat on a quest. So, and that's gone. You can't get them at all. And and it was easy to get Cure Moderates by the time you got to marketplace levels, and it was through the Lily Petals you could get Cure Serious once you got slightly above marketplace levels. So I thought that was a useful thing for a new player. And as far as I can tell, it's just completely gone. And I guess maybe there just aren't going to be first level new players anymore. Maybe everybody's expected to be really, the iconic heroes thing, right? So maybe we're all going to be level 15 iconic heroes over in Forgotten Realms, and nobody's going to be wandering the harbor wishing they had a Cure Light Wounds potion anymore. But I don't know. It just seems like they've taken something away from the game that some people I think would have been useful for some people.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, for sure. Although I imagine with the iconic heroes, that's something you probably have to pony up some money for. So you wouldn't necessarily get free-to-play players doing that, but I guess we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay. I haven't, really, because of the veteran status thing starting at level 8, I haven't been in the harbor in a long time. So, questing in the harbor quest, except for some favor here and there. But
this is a topic I would really love to hear other people's opinions about. So email us if you have a really strong opinion either way.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's interesting.
So DDOcast@gmail.com.
Let's see. Monster changes. Some monsters who have failed to respond to loud noises will now do so. I have noticed that sleeping monsters will stay asleep until you smack them over the head. So that might pertain to that. This is one of those ones that's a little cryptic what they're talking about, but I kind of like that. Normally sleeping monsters, they get up before I get there, but no, you get a chance to whack them. You're like, ha, take that, sleeping droll. So I was enjoying that in Stormcleave the other day. They still get up once you hit them, though. The Fall of Truth, Disciples and their giants will now revive to full health when their counterpart doesn't die within 10-second window. So this is in the new raid. They were coming back at third or half health, and so it wasn't too big a deal if you made a mistake. Coming back at full health, it's a bigger deal. Probably not the difference between success and failure for most groups, but maybe for some. A little extra incentive to get it right. So not sure how I feel about that one way or another. And also the Stormreaver's Lightning Bomb now works as intended. Not sure how it's intended to work, but probably nastier for us, I'm guessing. I don't remember him doing any lightning bombs on me that mattered very much, but
I just like how it sounds.
They're gonna, lightning bomb. Yeah, it'd be cool. It's kind of like Voltron. They announce their attacks before they do it. Lightning bomb.
Lightning bomb.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool in a way, because a lot of the time, they queue up for some special attack. You don't really notice until it hits you. You're like, oh, jeebus, what's going on now? Or what hit me? I know I died, but I'm not sure how it happened. Especially in that quest, because as we learned, you do not want to get crossfire of dragon happening, where 3 dragons are aiming inward in one direction. That can be very bad for anybody standing in that area. That's some rather nasty moments. Like, get the dragons out of here. So, but I've had fun doing that raid as of late. We've done it a few times, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it. I can't wait, but I haven't had the right. I want to do it with my gamer girl, and we just haven't had the right combination of opportunity and time and characters to do it.
It's pretty cool, and it doesn't take terribly long. It's kind of a nice medium level raid. It's it probably takes as long as some of the ones that are a lot simpler, and so it makes use of its time pretty well. I enjoy doing it. It's pretty fun. Let's see. Reaver's Refuge, Prey of the Hunter, fixed an issue that was causing the giants attacking Ataraxia to be too powerful on some difficulty settings, making it hard for the dragon to stay alive. So that's a good fix. People are having trouble completing that. Slayer and Slave Rescue quests in the Underdark are now working properly again, so that's good.
Yay.
And in the UI area, added a start menu option for the daily dice and shard exchange, removed the My DDO option, and reordered the other options for organizational purposes. The mail icon now displays on the small Fellowship health bar, and the text for the pop-up menu that displays when using the /stuck command now states, you may use this command once every X hours. So I'm glad they haven't sent it back to like once per day, because I still get stuck on things occasionally. It's nice to not have to worry, well, I can't get stuck again today while playing, and that would be bad. So happy about that. So that's about it for what's on there. So, not a whole lot of gameplay stuff, but definitely some interesting, I don't know, economy or metagame things going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on over in DDO Gamer.
Okay,
you got
let's
something
do that.
Kind of big and cool and special, or at least very funny.
I think it's big and cool and special. Basically, what I did is I asked Cordovan and Tolero if I could submit some questions and have Turbine developers take a look at them, and they allowed me to do so. So clever me, I sat down and wrote up really a lot of them, and I put a lot of effort into trying to come up with the kind of questions that they could actually answer. So I didn't ask things like, "Oh, what's in the next update?" or when do we get gnomes? What I instead tried to ask was questions like philosophical questions. How do you make this set of choices versus that set of choices, and what are the trade-offs when you go this way versus that way? And okay, maybe I was hoping to glean a little bit of figuring out when gnomes might come out of that information, they had the questions for a little while. I mean, you'll see later on, like one of the questions is, hey, might you ever do another expansion pack? And yes, we know the answer to that one now.
Yeah.
But obviously Tolero especially took the brunt of answering these. And in fact, as far as I know, she answered almost all of them. And she obviously put a lot of time and effort into it, and I think that her responses are quite interesting. And there's no earth-shattering news in there. I didn't learn anything about gnomes, but it's still interesting, and I really enjoy the thought processes behind some of this stuff, and I'm glad to be able to share it with people. And I think it's really cool that I'm the only one that has them, so I feel very special and exclusive.
Yay!
That's very awesome.
That's cool.
I think so too. So yeah, so I got a picture of the Tolero is the owlbear, and I made a nice little header for it because I'm not going to have breaking news very often. I just write a blog, but I do now. So all this week, and I mean this week, if you're listening now.
That is the 11th of March.
Thank you. All this week, go to DDO Gamer, and you're going to see some Turbine text that nobody else has.
Awesome.
And it won't be earth-shattering, but it'll be interesting, and hopefully you'll find it as enjoyable as I have.
Do you have a favorite response right now of the ones that you have up?
Of the ones that I have up, yes. I asked them how come they brought back Asheron's Call 2. And I was really hoping to get a discussion of the business case because, someday DDO is going to be a small game, and I'm hoping there's a business case that says they can keep games going, really a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I instead got is, it was, we loved it. It was a labor of love, and so we brought it back. It's like, okay, they brought it back because they loved it. I mean, okay. Yeah. I thought that was really a cool answer.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah, it is nice to love something. And if you can bring it back, why not do it? And apparently that's what happened. So, I mean, that's only one perspective, and I'd still like to get other perspectives on it, but that's my favorite answer so far. I think my very favorite answers, though, are later in the week. So I had one question that I asked her to ask as many developers as she could, and she got developers involved that didn't even have dev names yet. They had to come up with dev names just to answer the question.
Sweet.
Yes.
Very cool.
All right, well, I can't wait to read those.
Those should be fun.
So far, I'm enjoying it. So that's the best thing that's going on DDO Gamer. It's not the only thing. Since the last since the last DDOcast, I don't know. I spent a lot of time talking about Fernando's State of the Game address, which we've already done.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to put more words into it because, I get to.
Well, you did some analysis trying to read between the lines a little.
A little. And I, went into further depth on Fernando's piece, I think, than we had time to do. I also posted a series of screenshots that I've taken over the years when I have a teleport. So I love the teleport error in DDO. I think it's
very
great.
cool, yeah.
It is, because, if old school D&D, right? When you cast teleport, you weren't casual about it, right? Because there was, I can't remember if it was a 1% or a 3%. Anyway, there was a chance that you were going to have a teleport error. And that meant you had to go to a whole nother table and roll again, and it was a terrifying table.
Yes.
Right? Maybe you come in a foot over your target, okay. Or you come in, 1,000 feet below your target, and you molecularly bind with the rocks of the earth. It's like, time to re-roll that character. But I really like that DDO, took the spirit of that. They couldn't do the exact same thing. They don't want you re-rolling your character. But they took the spirit of it, and they came up with this fling you high into the air over the marketplace 1 to 3% of the time. I think that's awesome. And you can get some really great screenshots from up there too. And over the years I have. Here, let me see if I have one queued up to show you. Well, I don't right now. I might come to it a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and it's just rare enough that it surprises me. I'm expecting to go somewhere, whoop, and I'm like, oh, jeez, it happened again. Like, oops. Like, do I have a feather fall on? No. Let's see. Where is that? Time running out. I'll just cast teleport again. Oops. What? Again? You're kidding me.
Well, now we're all so badass that it's now just kind of, you fall to the ground. It's kind of a minor inconvenience. Whoops, right. I meant to do that. Throw a cure moderate and move on. It used to be fatal. It's not. It's probably not so fatal anymore. But it's still fun. I still enjoy it, and you really do get some great screenshots. So,
very cool.
Okay, that's DDO Gamer for the week.
Woohoo!
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, and we'll be checking out. Next week we can talk a little bit about the stuff you had on. So I'll look forward to that.
Excellent.
Okay, moving on to the what you've been doing section. Despite my vacation, since we got back, I played quite a bit beforehand. Did the aforementioned raids, noodle around with my characters, working on Epic Destinies. On Sunday evening, we were back and did run some Crystal Cove.
Till 4 a.m.
Till 4 a.m. Watching movies, running Crystal Cove. It was very, very casual decompression time. But we had a good time. I was working on my potion. I didn't really get terribly far with that, but about halfway. Well, I guess actually I got the easy half done, which isn't really halfway. It's more like a quarter of the actual way. But whatever. I have healing amplification, so it's still pretty decent.
I think I got to tier 7 on that rum flask. So.
No, that's not. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's probably actually halfway as far as the green
resources.
Yeah.
That's the halfway mark for all your resources.
Yeah, it's I find it to be a little bit terribly expensive, but you got to have stuff to grind on, so there you go. And there's nothing else for me to make. I still feel like there's nothing to do with my gold and silver coins particularly. They just kind of pile up. I deleted a bunch of them. I'm just like, I'm tired of these things. I'm just deleting them.
I know.
So
doesn't it feel weird though to be throwing away something called gold doubloons?
Yeah, especially with the copper ones. I'm like, I need all of those. Like, I gotta hang on to that because I need those to make things.
The gold ones you don't need.
It's
there
bizarre.
needs to be a system. Can you ever trade gold ones into copper or silver?
No. Can't do anything with them.
Why?
I mean, you can buy 1,000 dowsing rods.
And I buy vials of sea fog, right?
Yeah.
And I have like 500 of them, and I'll use one someday. I keep reminding myself one of these times I'm going to use one.
Yeah. They've got like a kill potion now, and that's okay. I guess you can buy those for your lobies, but still, not a lot to do with the gold and silver coins. But anyway, I mean, there's a new rune arm in there, which is cool. There's these potions. There's like 10 levels of it, and the more you upgrade it, the more healing it does. At the top, it does a heal plus restoration like every 6 minutes, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Might be 5 minutes. I think it's 6 though.
It's good.
And then cooldown.
Yeah, but there's like 10 steps of it, and you have to upgrade it to every step. And one of the problems is if you're a high-level character, which many people are, you need all the different levels of gems, and you only get the high-level ones when you do high-level quests. So either you need to go run Crystal Cove on low levels, or you put in the upper-level gems and you break them down one at a time, one level at a time.
Click,
it could be
click,
thousands
click.
and thousands of individual clicks to do that. And it's been annoying people.
That's tedious.
Yeah.
Really tedious. I mean, like, that's a flaw with the current... given the barter UI, it looks pretty and you know what you're getting, what you have to give and what you get out of it. But the repetitive clicking is brutal.
Yeah.
It would be really nice if they would add a quantity box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do this, 50 times instead of 50 clicks.
Yeah, I think the thing is they just have a very simple interface basically where there are recipes and then there are allotments of recipes and then that's about it, right? And they don't have any kind of if-then-else thought involved. It's like the recipe is this and it makes that and that's all there is to it.
Right.
Oh well, I survived it, right? But it just did feel kind of silly. It helped a lot having a dual screen, and I could watch Netflix while I was doing it, and I didn't really care that much. I watched Stakeland, which is a weird vampire zombie apocalypse movie, but was actually pretty good. I enjoyed Stakeland. It was better than watching the trading interface as I click through jumps.
I have to be careful. I learned playing Diablo that I only have so many clicks in these fingers. I broke my clicky finger playing Diablo.
So I have a friend that had that happen.
Yeah, I had to retrain myself to click the mouse with 2 fingers after that. So
another victim of El Diablo.
So I mouse like this now.
Wow.
So I got it.
Wow.
Something
you can solve that by getting these USB pedals, which you can use for your foot, and then map that to a mouse click.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've heard of those. I've yet to get one. Was that another Shamgar thing that he uses?
I can't remember.
I remember somebody on the show said, "Yeah, I have these pedals. They're awesome." And I was like, "Oh, that's a pretty good idea."
Yeah, that is. I don't know if I'm coordinated enough for that though.
Yeah,
I'd be pushing with my finger when I mean to pedal with my foot, and vice versa.
My cats would be all over those. Like, oh, this looks like a game.
Damn cats!
No.
What do you mean? I didn't aggro the boss. What are you talking about?
What's
my cat?
Cat tail.
Let's see. Oh yeah, right. So how about you, Jeff? What have you been doing?
Yar, I be working on me flask of rum. And I did actually complete one, although not on the character I probably should have.
Yeah.
I don't know. On the very last day, one of my guildmates got a bee up his behind that he needed another one. So there was some frantic coving on Sunday. I love my guildmates, but no.
That is truly epic work.
Yeah,
just to make another one? No way.
Yeah. And it was really handy that on the last day there were so many people doing it that at least the cove was opening pretty quick. That helps. But
yeah,
even still, I mean, 5,500 shards. Mm-hmm. And when you're getting 300 on a good run, I guess some people are getting 500, but I never did. The most I ever got was high 300s. So what is that? 15 runs? 16 runs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot.
8 solid hours of nothing but.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. For me, I see it as kind of a multiple cove event project, which is fine by me. But
yeah,
although I did spend some of mine upgrading bold trinkets. I made some more bold trinkets because I like those.
Well, those are nice.
I will say it was nice that they added something that was they had. I wouldn't have gone at all if it hadn't been for the rum. So I'm glad they added something that was worth getting, even if it was a little.
Oh, and I got the rune arm too.
The rune arm was really good.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I like the sound effect on the rune arm. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I don't have a level 24 artificer, so I can't equip it yet. But went ahead and picked one up. Didn't upgrade it though.
It looks cool too. It's got like a demonic ram's head. That fits on your arm. Yeah, and it sounds like a pirate cannon. Pow!
Oh, that's
okay. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Sweet.
But why do they have like reduced fortification on it? Oh, because it's a glass cannon.
The glass cannon, yeah. Steamy.
There you go. Suddenly it all makes sense.
That's very clever.
I see what you did there.
How about you, sweetheart? What you been up to? I didn't know.
Yeah, anything, usually whatever you've been up to. So pretty much running Cove, ran the raid a couple times, working on my characters, Epic Destinies and whatnot. So that's about it.
No. Well, you get a little playtime that I don't from time to time, so,
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. Community news from the Chronicle this week. Yelana looks at life and times of a halfling barbarian, her new YouTube video. I haven't watched it, but that sounds very cute. I'm surprised sometimes how many DDO videos there are on YouTube. There are lots.
Lots.
Yeah. Epitome has been live streaming his DDO adventures on Twitch TV, which reminded me of days of yore when I was a young teenager, going to my friend's house who had cool video game systems and I didn't. And yes, I contented myself to watch them play for hours at a time. I didn't have to do that anymore. But nonetheless, pretty cool. I have not watched Epitome's videos, so I don't know much about them. But imagine that could be fun. Especially if you're stuck somewhere you can't play, but you're jonesing for it anyhow. Because I think that's what DDO class does for a lot of people as well. They're at work, they can't play DDO, but they can listen to people talk about it. Let's see, the Chronicle comment is, we are celebrating pirates this week. What makes a good pirate hat good? And I'm going to say secret compartments. A good pirate hat has lots of places that you can stow knives and coins and prophylactics and things like that the pirate might need on his adventures. So, yeah, I think that's what makes a good pirate hat. Good. How about you, darling? What do you think?
Oh, what makes a good pirate hat? Oh, style. You have to have the right kind of color, the right kind of shape. It's not really a good pirate hat if it doesn't have the three corners. The tricorn hat is the proper hat to have.
Sounds good. Tricorner. Got good color. How about you, Jeff?
2 words. Skull factor.
Indeed. All right. Let's see.
9,000 even.
There you go.
There's a DDO Steam community now. I didn't know much about that, but they mentioned that in the Chronicle. So if you play DDO on Steam, or even if you don't, you can go check that out if you have Steam. And we mentioned it last week, but it bears mentioning again, and Jerry put it in the Chronicle. The Moonbreaker Book 3, The Orb of Dragonkind, is now available for your reading pleasure. So just, Google The Moonbreaker or The Orb of Dragonkind. Well, Orb of Dragonkind will probably get you all kinds of other stuff. So include The Moonbreaker in there. And you should find that. And, I like her books a lot. They're really cute. I would say start at the first one if you haven't read them. But it eases you in real nice, and there's some great kobold action in there. So.
She does great action.
She does great work with kobolds. I really like her take on the way kobolds think and stuff like that. So
I just think that's the best blurb for a book ever. It contains great kobold action.
Whoa.
Now you skipped something in community news, and I know why you did, because you're the self-effacing guy that you are. But DDOcast, you guys posted, all of the photos that you use when you post every week, right? And there's a film strip of all of them going back in time, and I really enjoyed watching it. It reminded me of a lot of awesome things. So I thought it was really great that you put that up, and I really enjoyed the time I spent watching it. So thanks for doing that.
No problem.
Yeah, what's funny is I didn't know about that until I saw the Chronicle. So I was like, we have that? Oh, really? That's neat. Ann must have did that.
You should remind people where they would go to find that on their own.
Oh,
yeah, it's on our G+ page. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so go to G+ and type in DDOcast, and you'll find it.
And we'll find it in our photos album. So.
Yep, yeah. I really liked it.
Cool. Let's see. Well, I don't have any lightning posts this week, or other gaming news. A little bit light because, like I said, we were up in Vancouver. I was at a card gaming tournament. I did pretty good. Didn't win or anything, but I finished respectively and won lots of cards. And Anne went on a nice little spa trip and sightseeing up at Whistler. Vancouver is a lovely city, I have to say. It's a neat place. They have cool architecture. Of any city I've ever been to, city of the future, like that's Vancouver. Like it has kind of the most sci-fi looking skyscape and buildings of any town I've ever been to. So, and they have a modern tram system and all that kind of jazz. So it really, I don't know, it always gives me that feeling of, this is that, pod city by the sea or whatever. It's a really interesting place. Pretty cool. And interesting people there too. It's neat. So I recommend it. And apparently Whistler is lovely.
Oh yeah, I kind of lucked out. Whistler had a sunny day on the day that I went, and it was just beautiful and amazing. So I highly recommend it. It's ever since they did refurbishing to the Whistler Village because of the Winter Olympics in 2010. There are ample of things to do for all kinds of people.
Yeah, so we're thinking about going up there for a little vacation sometime. It's pretty awesome. So, okay, you got any parting thoughts for us there, Jeff?
No, must get back to painting.
Yep.
We're going to Gen Con.
The painting goes on. Yes, we are going to Gen Con.
I'll mention it this time.
Absolutely.
If you're going to Gen Con too, please let us know. We want to hook up and do some fun things.
Yeah, things are gelling. So we'll actually have some announcements pretty soon for stuff we're doing and cool stuff like that. So
we've
we're getting
pretty
closer.
much solidified all our other events, so now we can start planning DDOcast events.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Should be very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, and then if you want to help fund our Gen Con event, please buy my stuff at stanxmart.com.
There you go. Yeah, Gen Con. And I should remind people you can still get DDOcast merch if you want. We don't really make much of any profit on that, but get some of that. Oh, and Jeff, we will be sending you some DDOcast stuff since. Been such an integral part of the show. You will be outfitted soon.
Well, thank you. I already have some T-shirts. I bought some.
Is really
good. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I bought some of your shirts, but
that's right.
All right. Well,
anything you want to send me, I will wear with pride.
Awesome.
Well, DDOcast is like a trifecta now. It's like Jeff is there. He's a part of our crew permanently. He helps bring us content when I'm lazy.
All right. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for this week. Big thanks to Ann. Big thanks to Jeff. Big thanks to everybody who contributes to the show, our many fine listeners. And to Turbine and Wizards, keep cranking out those updates, gentlemen and ladies. If you want to be a part of the show or just say hi, you can call us at 707-DDOcast or email us at ddocast@gmail.com. Until next time, may all your attack rolls be crits, all your chests level appropriate. Have fun, and don't forget to save up all your... What?
Roll a heal bot, so I don't
Roll
have
a
to
heal bot.
So I don't have to heal. Heal me. Please.
Thank you, darling.
Don't forget to heal your own damn self. There you go.
Yeah, don't forget to bring your own healing. All right, everybody. No outro music today. We'll just say goodbye. Did you know it's impossible to coordinate songs over a delayed audio system?
That's too hard. All right, folks. Have a good evening.